Welcome back to Great Day Washington. Men are 3 times more likely to successfully negotiate a higher salary than women, according to the job site Glassdoor.
So how do you haggle to get the deal you want? And more importantly, how do you haggle to get what you're worth? Well, joining us now with some tips on how you can do that is author of Speaking Game, Clint Arthur. And you're happy to be here, Clint.
Happy to be here.
So happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
And your tips work, we want everybody to know, for anybody, whether it's what you want out of your child, what you want from your boss. These tips work for everybody.
It even works between the sheets. So be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it.
Right into my next question, which is, what's your first tip?
First tip is number 1. You don't want to be the first person to give a number in a negotiation. The first person to give the number in the negotiation is the loser.
Usually comes out not on top.
Why is that
not on top?
It's a dance, because that's where the negotiation starts. If you wanted to get more, you're locked in at that range. And if you want to go lower, then that's a high part.
Okay,
so
because
be
most
careful.
jobs, they'll ask you, when they call you and they're interested in you, how much are you looking to make? What should you say instead?
You would say, what are you looking to pay?
What are you looking to
Put
pay?
it back in their court.
Yeah, what does it feel good for?
But what about like a price of something or your salary?
Especially with salary, I say don't negotiate the price. So let's say, for example, you're a $20 an hour person, and they say to you, we don't want to pay 20.
Oh my gosh.
We only want to pay 17. This doesn't work so good anymore, does it?
No.
And neither will the person when you cut their salary. Therefore, don't negotiate a person's salary. Always pay the person what they want. There are much better things to negotiate besides the money you're going to pay a person.
Well, I love the message, but I believe you're speaking to the choir, as maybe a lot of people watching are the employees and not necessarily the employers.
Amen.
So what can you do, I guess,
if they're trying to negotiate your salary?
You want to push it further, right?
There are other things. You could say, hey, I need the money that I need, but I'm willing to work more time. I'm willing to come in on Saturdays if you need me. I'm willing to be available to do extra duties that aren't part of the natural description of the job. Get out of the money negotiation and get into what else can you do. Much better.
And of course, if you don't ask for it,
you don't
receive it.
That's right.
You don't receive it. I mean, you got to ask.
If you don't ask, you don't
receive.
And ask and you shall
receive.
Yeah.
You don't ask, you don't get it.
Yeah, but then what happens if the person or the group you are asking says no, 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 take it or leave it, no?
Well, then you'll find that out. But unless you ask, you'll never find it out.
Should you walk
surprised.
away, or?
You would be surprised what people are willing to give you. I've been in negotiations where I asked for something and they said yes, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they said yes, and thank God they did, because that made me a lot of moolah.
I wonder if that's different if you're a man, though, as we talked about women, and sometimes it's tough to speak up and get what you want and not be labeled.
I want to get to an important point of yours, is knowing who you're arguing or negotiating with, right?
Yeah, you need to do research on people. Some people like apples. Some people like orange candy. And the people who like orange candy aren't going to want the apple, and vice versa. You need to know who you're negotiating against and what their desires, needs, or wants are, so that you can give them what they want and need and get what you want out of the deal.
Thank you for Speaking Game and the book. We have more information and tips online. Just go to WUSA9.com/greatday this afternoon for more.
The tip of the iceberg for the tips. We'll be right back. Thank you, Clint.
Yay.
Rosé is back.